It's time to get nerdy, y'all.
A little bit of gaming history for you.
Something relevant in gaming and discuss our opinions on it.
Should we kick it out of here, or should we kick-start it?
This is the part where you, the listeners, try to stump the hosts.
I'm not a lawyer. I just play one on a podcast. Ladies and gentlethems, lads and lasses of all ages, it is Wednesday, December 13th, 2023. And while we would normally be getting nerdy on your podcast feed, this holiday season is kind of crazy for Mr. Nice Guy and I. For starters, he's currently on a business trip that's keeping him busy for well over a week, which is criminal for the record. And then after that, I'm busy for the next 2 weeks with Christmas stuff and moving plans and a whole bunch of stuff. So we are not going to be able to do our regular show until after the beginning of the new year 2024, which is a huge blow because of all the interesting, exciting, and sometimes terrifying news that came out. I mean, Game Awards just barely happened, and boy, do we have a lot to say about that. Also, E3 announcing that they weren't going to do anything anymore, that it's donezo. I mean, the writing may have been on the wall, but we've got some real feelings about that. And I mean, scams? Oh my goodness, the scams. So we've got an awful lot that we'd love to say about video games. But unfortunately, that's going to have to wait for a little while. Something, however, that could not wait is that I have to take a opposite of the victory lap, eat humble pie. I was so wrong. In episode 289, I said that there was no way that Epic was going to win against Google in their suit. I said it was functionally identical to the Apple suit, and that Google, as we all know, is even less monopolistic than Apple in their business practices, and so there was no way they were going to see anything but a sound defeat for Epic in court, and I was wrong in almost every way that a person can be. And that I can't leave for another day. There is one line, though, that I stand by and definitely hasn't changed. Apple isn't your friend, Epic is not your friend, Google is not your friend, and it's hard to root for anyone here. It's hard to see how Epic deliberately breaking their contract and not suffering the consequences from deliberately breaking their contract is a good thing. It's also hard to see how Apple and Google's anti-competitive practices, because yeah, their practices are 100% anti-competitive. I mean, the idea of competition is important in video gaming. Of course, to be fair, Epic spends a whole heck of a lot of its time engaging in also anti-competitive practices by paying developers to keep their games off of other platforms. That is a move against competition. None of these people are doing things in the best interests of the video game consumers, you and me, the people who are playing. So it's hard to root for any of these people. And when they get up on their high horses about this stuff, they're really just, throwing rocks at people while they live in glass houses, as the old saying goes. So, as you can tell, I have lots of feelings, but I do have to take the loss because in Epic v. Google, they did go before a jury and had a jury trial. I actually have the jury instructions, and I intend on that being something that I read, and maybe if there's some interest, feel free to let us know on Discord, via email, social media, you know the places, and let us know if you're interested, because it might be, shall we say, illuminating to go over those together and understand what it was that the jury was presented with when they walked into that room, and then when they walked out 4 hours and 30 minutes later and said, guilty on all counts. So while we won't have our traditional episodes between now and the beginning of the year, we'll see what we can do about at least putting something out there so that you've got something for your feed and something to listen to over the holidays. So until we see you next, be excellent to each other and keep it nerdy. Bye.